And Vic, the roads coming into work were not cleared, so how about where you are downtown?
Pretty much the same story right here. We're dealing with the main thing, and it's very much the typical situation. It's the secondary roads that are kind of either if they've gotten a little bit of snow removal, which we just saw a plow truck go through here. What's left behind is the packed down snow that can be very icy. But if you look down over here, that's I-240 right there. It is clear, but those roads are wet. And Julie was not kidding. It is very cold out here, so you know that if the roads are wet and the wind is blowing, there's a strong chance for black ice. I made calls around to different counties here. No major accidents overnight, but in the early evening hours, they had plenty. I mean, they were tallying in the hundreds earlier last night when we were getting information into the newsroom. And what has happened is people have gotten off the roads, but in some cases, you have to be really careful. If you do head out today, you might be coming around the corner and find a car that's just been abandoned because of the conditions right there in the middle of the road. So they're asking people to, of course, play it safe, stay put. And if you do need traffic information, please do not call your emergency dispatchers. 511 is a great number to call. Highway Patrol is asking you to use that instead of calling them and tying up their lines. And we're going to be following these conditions for you all morning long as we are dealing with not only extremely cold temperatures, but of course icy and snowy covered roads pretty much across the region. Live in Asheville, Victoria Dunkel, News 13.
And the snow led to dangerous driving conditions across the Carolinas. The Highway Patrol reported hundreds of accidents yesterday along I-240, I-40, and I-26.
News 13's Victoria Dunkel joins us live this morning from Asheville with how the roads look this morning. Vic?
They're a mess. That's the best way to put it. I mean, there are a few spots that are kind of cleared off, but really it is a dangerous situation. Don't be out here if you don't need to. Let me tell you, Julie was talking about the wind chill. I don't know if you can see up there, it's kind of calmed down a little bit, but look at how that traffic light is rocking up there. It is very cold. The thing is if you go out on these roads right now, you slide off the road, end up in the ditch, you're going to be in serious trouble because you do not want to be having to walk any really far distance in these conditions. And this is a look at the road here. This is they've been going over it and stuff, but it's already starting to blow back in some of the loose snow. As we take a look at a little bit of video that we shot for you earlier today, we really are seeing exactly what the scenario is across much of the mountain counties. We've got snow-covered, icy secondary roads. Some primary roads are also still snow-covered and icy. The advice from the Highway Patrol, who handled all those hundreds of accidents last night, stay put. So far, most of the places I've talked to tonight have had lots of quietness. People have really hunkered down, if you will, but they're expecting things to change as we start to see, people wake up, try to think about making this a work day if they can. So do be patient. Do plan on taking a slow start and a slow go for your travel if you have to, but the best advice, stay put. We're tracking the conditions. I'll let you know how things are shaping up throughout the morning as we bring you live team coverage. Reporting live in Asheville, Victoria Dunkel, News 13.
And we continue our live team coverage now with News 13's Evan Donovan, who is in Haywood County this morning.
And Evan, the western counties look like a winter wonderland out there.
They sure do, Jay. In fact, there's quite a bit of snow out here. We're at the Ingalls parking lot just off of 74 in Waynesville. And I want to show you kind of some of the accumulation that we see here. If I just dip my finger right into the snow and then I pull it right out, you got this black glove here. You can see that's a good, I don't know, what is that, like 1.5, 2 inches maybe? Off the roadways, there's a lot of accumulation like that. On the roadways, not so bad. The I-26, I-40, they were all good getting up here, but there is a lot of snow accumulation in the mountains. I want to back out of the way and show you this beautiful shot that we have overlooking the city of Waynesville here. DOT tells us in Haywood County that the worst spots are Waynesville into Balsam. They got about 2 to 3 inches county-wide, and they said usually I-40 corridor gets a lot of snow, but it didn't this time, which is a little bit unusual for them. A lot of snow accumulation in the other counties as well. Jackson got 1.5 to 4 inches, depending on where you are. McDowell County, 2.5 inches. Swain County, somewhere between 2 and 3. And Transylvania County, again, 2.5 to 4 inches, depending on your location. So there's definitely a lot of accumulation up in these mountain counties. It looks absolutely beautiful. I'm sure you could see that from looking at the town over here. And then obviously the sides of the roadways and people's lawns. It looks quite pretty out here. Winter Wonderland is a great way to describe it. We'll have more for you coming up in the next half hour. But for now, I'm Evan Donovan reporting live from Waynesville for News 13.
Our next stop in our live team coverage is in downtown Asheville.
News 13's Victoria Dunkel is live along Montford Avenue. And Vic, the roads are very dangerous. They look terrible where you are.
They really are. I mean, this road here is covered. It's packed. The snow has been cleared off several times. We've watched the plow crews come through, but then what's left behind is ice. And that's the conditions that are really showing up along the area. I want to tell you real quickly, I have the anemometer here testing the wind speed. Just before we came out live, there was a wind gust of about 15 miles per hour. So Julie is right on the money when she's telling you don't be outside for very long in this cold weather. The wind chill is a big factor today. And as we take a look, I've got some video of what the conditions really are, kind of a sampling, if you will, of what's all around us, because what we're seeing right here in Asheville is the same scenario on almost every county I spoke to. They've got snow and ice covered roads. Most of the DOT crews have been out getting to those primary roads. Again, it's the secondary roads that are in the worst shape right now. The advice to everybody, stay put. If you don't have to be out here on these roads, don't, because that gives the crews plenty of time to get them treated. And as we see the sun come up, and maybe we'll see a little bit more clearing if everything comes together. But as we continue our team coverage, we're heading out to Haywood County, where Evan Donovan is, and he is out in one of the places that saw some of the highest accumulations of snow.
Thanks, Vic. Well, yeah, it's a beautiful winter wonderland out here. Lots of snow everywhere. And I want to show you a little bit more about what kind of snow it is. It's that big, dry, powdery snow that just sort of like looks really beautiful and doesn't really pack very well into snowballs. So it's just that kind of dry, powdery snow, which means that, you know, on the roadways it kind of gets packed down a little bit. I want to show you this parking lot here. We're at the Ingalls off of 74 in Waynesville, and as you can see, it looks very pretty, but it's that dry, powdery snow that's going to pack in when you're driving over top of it. The upper elevations in the mountains got a lot of snow yesterday, 2 to 3 inches county-wide in Haywood County. About 1.5 to 4 inches in Jackson County. McDowell got about 2.5 inches. Swain County 2 to 3. Transylvania 2.5 to 4 inches. So quite a bit of snow on the upper elevations of the mountains, and it's obviously causing some dangers on the roadways this morning. And Victoria told you a little bit about that, but just really beautiful conditions around here. But obviously, you just need to be careful when you're out and about this morning. Coming up in the next half hour, we'll tell you a little bit more about how the conditions are looking throughout the mountain counties. For now, reporting live in Waynesville, I'm Evan Donovan, News 13.
We continue our live team coverage now where snow has piled up.
News 13's Evan Donovan joins us live this morning from Waynesville. So, Evan, how are things looking out your way?
Hey guys, well, it looks really pretty actually. I mean, there's a lot of snow accumulation, probably about 2.5 to 3 inches here in Waynesville. We're just off 74 at an Ingalls parking lot in Waynesville, and I want to get out of the way so you can see this beautiful shot behind me of Waynesville. Looks really nice, but it's actually kind of dangerous. We saw a lot of accumulation in the mountains, 2 to 3 inches county-wide in Haywood County. Usually the I-40 corridor gets a lot of snow. The DOT is telling us it didn't last night, so that's a little bit odd for them. The worst spots are Waynesville into Balsam. Also had 1.5 to 4 inches in Jackson, another 2.5 in McDowell County, Swain County 2 to 3 inches, and Transylvania 2.5 to 4 inches, depending on location. So lots of snow accumulation. We also want to mention that, you know, we just heard from Jeff on what the situation was with traffic up here in the mountains, but I want to tell you that the Upstate is experiencing quite a bit of issues. Greenville County got between 1 inch to 2 inches of snow and a lot of freezing on its roads. It took me about 2.5 hours to drive up here to Asheville last night. Want to let you know that they've seen 30 to 40 accidents just since 4:30 this morning. That's what the Highway Patrol is telling us. They said at a certain point last night they were getting about 100 an hour accidents being called in there. Big one right now on I-85 southbound at mile marker 69. There's a truck jackknife with 2 lanes closed and only 1 lane open. I-85 southbound at mile marker 69, and that is in around Greenville and Spartanburg County. So lots to be aware of and lots to be careful of this morning with all the winter weather. For right now, reporting live in Waynesville, I'm Evan Donovan, News 13.
All right, Evan, stay warm, and the snow has made for some dangerous and slippery roads.
News 13's Victoria Dunkel joins us live this morning from Asheville. Victoria, what do the roads look like downtown?
Well, they're pretty much snow covered, or if they've been in a spot where the plows have been through it, like here on Montford, several times we've seen the plows going through. But now what's left behind as the snow gets packed down, it becomes almost like a sheet of ice. We are seeing traffic pick up a little bit here. You can hear a little bit more of the traffic coming on behind me on 240. They're moving pretty much at pace there because this is being in the downtown area, a slower traffic speed limit here. But the thing is I would not be moving very quickly anywhere today because these roads, they may look just a little bit wet and you think you're okay. But black ice is going to be a big issue where they look wet. And anytime you come around a corner on a secondary road or you exit onto a secondary road, you're going to be hitting ice and snow covered areas. I want to thank folks for letting me know what's going on our Facebook pages. Crystal Banks is wishing us to be safe out here. Thank you so much, Crystal. But she said she's got about 2 inches of snow in Asheville. One other thing that may be a blessing in all of this, we are not seeing major power outages, just maybe a handful really impacting the mountains in our area and the upstate as of checking with Duke in the last 10 minutes. So that could be the one silver lining in all of this. Reporting live in Asheville, Victoria Dunkel, News 13.
And we know that Evan Donovan is continuing our live team coverage from Haywood County.
He is indeed. Evan, what's the latest out there?
Hey guys, well, you know, it was so great to be in the studio with you over the past couple of days, not just because you're both so great to work with, but also because it's really cold out here. I mean, I can't even tell you how cold I am. It's like face freezing cold. It's about 12 degrees according to the car right now, and there's been a ton of snow over the past day and night. I want to give you those snow accumulation totals in a minute, but I just want to tell you a little bit about the kind of snow that we're seeing here. It's like this light, fluffy snow. It's like, you know, it's that dry snow. It doesn't make for good snowballs. I've been working on this one for a while, and you know, trying to see what I can get, and it just keeps falling apart. You know, it just keeps crumbling every time I try to pack it in. So it's not the good kind of snow. Sorry, kids, for making snowballs and you know, throwing them at your parents. But you can make like fun snow angels. You know, you can like, you know, do this kind of thing, and you still get like a nice, you know, a nice little snow angel. Yeah, it's not bad, right? That's actually pretty good. I don't know if you can see that, but that's actually pretty good. I want to tell you about the snow accumulation totals we've had over the past day across the mountains. Here in Haywood County, they got about 2.5 to 3 inches county-wide all over the place. Didn't get a lot in the I-40 corridor, which is where DOT tells us they normally get a lot, so a little bit different this time. But the worst hit areas are between Waynesville and Balsam. So if you're living in those areas, make sure you be careful out on the roads. Actually, be careful no matter where you are. We also had about 1.5 to 4 inches in Jackson County, 2.5 in McDowell, Swain County, 2 to 3 inches, Transylvania County, 2.5 to 4, depending on where you are. Mitchell County, we don't have a total from them, but we did hear that it has been snowing throughout the night, and so, you know, not sure exactly what the totals are out there, but a lot of snow accumulation. And then we know in the upstate, between 1 to 2 inches, depending on where you are, especially north of 85, causing a lot of traffic issues down there. Obviously, they don't get as much snow, so a lot going on down in the upstate. But for right now, we've been reporting live here in Waynesville, just outside of this Ingalls off of 74. I'm Evan Donovan for News 13.
Well, as you know, snow is sticking to the ground of the mountains and causing big trouble for drivers.
Let's continue our team coverage right now.
And Victoria joins us now on the phone in downtown Asheville. How do things look right now, Victoria?
Well, you know, we wanted to give you an idea of what was going on, so we hit the roads in the last 15 minutes here. And all morning long, we've been telling you the primary roads have had more of the attention. They're a little bit clearer and a little easier to navigate. Side roads are really still very tricky, and that really holds true. And one thing, as we look at the video, and we've been talking to you this morning, the interstates look pretty good, maybe some wet areas that could be icy, but the problem is the entrance and exit ramps. Those are still snow-packed and snow-covered in many places. The best advice, as we're hearing from everybody, is to stay off the roads unless you absolutely must be out there. And if you do have to go out, slow down, because it doesn't take a minute for you to hit some slick spot, whether it's snow-covered ice or an ice pack after it's been plowed, and you can be out of control and in a ditch in a matter of minutes. So the advice is stay put while you can and make sure that you do go slow if you do have to head out in the area. Live in Asheville, Victoria Dunkel, News 13.
And out in our western counties, several inches of snow fell.
That's right. That's where News 13's Evan Donovan has been all morning.
Evan, how thick is the snow out there?
Well, things look really beautiful out here, but it's very cold and it's very dangerous on the roads. I'm not sure if you could see, but it's really light snow coming down right now. This is the first precipitation we've had in the couple hours that we've been out here. It's just really, really faint that's coming down. I want to get out of the way so you can see this live look at downtown Waynesville here. It's quite beautiful down here. They got about 2 to 3 inches in Waynesville. Worst spots between here and Balsam. Jackson County got 1.5 to 4 inches. McDowell about 2.5 inches. Swain 2 to 3 inches. Transylvania 2.5 to 4 inches depending on your location. We also know that the Upstate got hit pretty hard. You know they're not used to snow. About 1 inch to 2 inches there, causing a lot of accidents on the roadway. Highway Patrol told us about 30 to 40. That was about 30 minutes ago since 4:30 this morning. So a lot of accidents, and at some points last night they were dealing with up to 100 reports of accidents per hour. So a lot going on there. Tell us what you're seeing. Go to our Facebook page. Tell us what it looks like outside your house and how much accumulation of snow you're getting and what you're doing with it. Reporting live from Waynesville, I'm Evan Donovan, News 13.